Yes, we're back in Suzukiville, and we're looking at air filters again, and the recycling thereof. Yes. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Wouldn't that look cool? Yeah? Brake light? Yeah, very nice. So that's the general idea. I don't know how I'm going to mount it, and I'm probably going to cut it so I can do it again another time. Very cool. Been using my favourite rivet nuts again, and there's one in the frame, and the seat is ready to go. Hole there, big hole there, little hole there. Lovely. Done. Ready to feed the wires through and work out exactly where we're going to put stuff. Well, it's looking almost like a Yamaha. No, we've fed all the noodles through, well, most of them into the tray. So all we got left is the starter solenoid, which is connected to the fuse box. Otherwise, that plug is out and ready to go, which is connected to the knee bone. And yeah, anyway, we are getting clear. It's a lengthy process, and I've had to lengthen a couple of wires, which are going to come round the frame, behind the frame, under the frame, out of sight, and meet up with the with these two, which go to the brake light switch, which did work, doesn't work, I don't know. Probably won't now, that's for sure. Anyway, on the underside, it's relatively clean. I'm gonna have to do something to tidy that up a little bit, but once we've got all this stuff in there, we'll be good to go. And this particular chunk of wiring seems completely redundant. That was plugged into nothing. I don't know what it goes to. That was that random earth. And but this two wires come out of that particular loom, so I may just chop all this other shit. But two wires come down to the starter solenoid, and something else disappear off. Probably, yeah. There's probably the earth to the engine. Is that technical enough for you? Probably not. But there we go. As you can see, with the help of some random polystyrene, styrofoam, we now have clear space. Everything is routed up through the hole. Yeah. Cool. And this is going away. Something much prettier. And this is gonna be hidden. And that'll just leave that. That's alright. I can live with that. Cool. We have ourselves a Café racer. So things turned up today for the Suzuki, and we are still struggling with the material because that is not the bright red it was in the picture. So that's disappointing. Handlebar grips turned up, which is cool, but also interesting because I think this is the first. The clip-ons arrived, just the clip-ons, no bars. Slightly problematic, except of course we have got bars, so we can just chop them off and put them in, so not such a problem. And what else? Oh, perspex for the Honda. That's a big piece. We'll have a look at that in that episode. Oh yes. So yes, neon LED lighting as per Bel Air, possibly for the Suzuki, and then some twist grips, just like I used on the Yamaha. Brilliant, great product. This one here, yeah. So those are for both the Honda and the Suzuki. So much to do and so little time. The other tedious thing about these is that they're the ones that slip over rather than completely come apart both sides, so I can't just clip them on. I'm going to have to remove the top yoke, which I've got to do anyway, and while I'm there I might grind down the original mounts, because that would be neat and tidy, wouldn't it? And we want to drop the front end a little anyway to level out the bike. So that's all cool. And yes, I've had a rethink on this in the cold light of day over a cup of coffee this morning. I was having a look at this thinking that's a lot of wiring as opposed to a couple of glasses of wine and shoving it all through the hole. So, and I figured this, is that the regulator or the rectifier? Anyway, that one should really be in some decent airflow, and just so happens that the mounting holes are perfect. So with the other one, so what I'm going to do is mount the one with the fins under the seat using the same holes as the one above it. So that'll be neat and tidy, and therefore that's a lot of wires, these ones, which will just go straight to that and won't come up here. And I'm thinking the starter solenoid probably doesn't want to be in there. I don't think I've got clearance on the seat. So I think I'm going to mount that down there somewhere. Maybe on that, maybe on those that are spare. Maybe up there. I don't know. But I'm going to mount it somewhere in here. So that will be a lot less crowded house in there. So for the purposes of demonstration, I've just hooked it up straight to the battery. But this is what I used in the Bel Air, and it's really cool. It's not that really thick, horrible stuff. It's really cool. And I had an idea that I was going to use it on the Suzuki. I was going to use it on the Yamaha, and I bought a yellow one, and it was the horrible thick stuff. This is really cool, and it's a really subtle light. I was going to put it around the seat. I don't know. Anyway, good to have in stock. As opposed to this, which is good for nothing. Yeah, this is the one that came that I ordered for the Yamaha, which is supposed to be yellow, and it's clearly orange, right, for starters. And obviously it's just a white light in a yellow piece of plastic. So if I ever want a white one, I suppose it's in there, but yeah. Not the same. So clearly we've got loads and loads of wire that we don't really need, and all these horrible connections. So there's a distinct possibility that I will be rewiring that, because that's literally, that's got to go from there to under there somewhere. So yeah, probably going to be rewiring that, and potentially the same with this. We'll just see how it goes and see where it's going to end. It just goes there. So it's better actually, because it'll be out of the way of your leg as a foot peg. And there it is. Which reminds me, I'm going to be looking at the foot pegs again, because I had another idea. I'm full of ideas, if you hadn't noticed. Not least of all the idea that I need a haircut. Anyway, as you may remember, I got a spare pair of these. Compliments of my wife and her vouchers. And I'm thinking, not these necessarily actually, but I'm thinking get rid of that, unbolt that, and see if we could actually just put a stud so that it will basically come out in exactly the same position as the current footrest, and negate all the necessity for all that cast iron there and rubber. Yeah, so just a straightforward metal peg, whether it's these or whether I actually get some more with that straight through kind of bolt, similar to the ones on the kit that I bought actually for the Honda. But I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this side off, or maybe the other if it's easier. Yeah, that's easier. I'll take those ones off and see what kind of bolt thread we're looking at. What would be really cool is if it was a M8Y1225, because I happen to have two exhaust studs spare. They're a little bit longer than that, and they fit beautifully. Thread both ends, so you thread one into the frame and one into the foot peg. See, not all stupid ideas. Well, I know it's being a little bit hopeful, wasn't it? These are definitely like M10s or something. So there we go. It's a good idea. Well, I mean, it's not over. It just means that I'll have to actually mod with something different. And they are indeed M10 by 125, so there you go. Okay, we are foot loose and fancy free. Yeah, good. So we know what we've got to do. Just got to find out a way to do it. So that's it. There we go. Marked up. holes to mount regulator and rectifier, and holes to mark how to mount the final fuse situation. There, that's what I was thinking of. It's off the R6 actually, and I cut 3 even though I only need 2 because I miscut the first one. It doesn't quite fit the shape, as you can see. So I'm going to do something like that and then mount this boy on that, just on that bottom bit. Yeah, if I've got enough of this material left. Otherwise I'm going to have to buy some more. Got plenty. So there it is in paper, but that's what we're going to do, and that will mount onto that nicely, and actually it'll shield some of that brake caliper there. Caliper, really? You know what I mean, the brake thing. Maybe we should do it another inch higher. Oh, I don't know. I think that'll do. I don't mind a little bit poking out. I think that'll be cool. And then this boy will mount onto that. Excellent. That's what we do. There we go. Minimum wastage and maximum left to do other stuff with. Yes, and if you can follow that cutting guide, you're a better man than I, Gungadin. Time for the soprano scissors. There you go. Something like that. Is that the right way round? Maybe not. Yeah, that's it, I think. Maybe. Anyway, you see what I'm getting at. That don't look bad, does it? Once it's cleaned up, tidied up. Gonna need a big ass washer for that though. There we go. We are motoring at the moment. We are really getting through problems and solutions and things like that. Yeah, not challenges, problems. There's nothing wrong with negative words. There are negative situations. Drilled all the holes, ready to put everything in place, and it turns out we got a lot of bolts and Allen bolts and these jobs, and not enough nuts. I need some more M6 nuts, and I'm not talking about the idiots that drive around the ring road at Birmingham. David. Anyway, with one nut, you're starting to get the idea, right? There's that on top, and there's that on the bottom. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Economies of scale. Well, I don't know. 2 bolts instead of 4, right? So I really should be getting on with some other projects, not least of all a haircut. But the Suzuki's coming along so nicely and so quickly with various bits of fabrication and sorting out the electrics and things. Foot pegs I've got on order now, so everything's cruising ahead. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Very important. Don't bother smashing the bell, waste of time. And yes, encourage others to watch my lunacy.